Hey, it's David Breeze Flippers. Happy Friday. It's actually been a good week, pretty solid week to be honest with you. We've had several really good sales and I'm going to show you guys those in a minute. I'm not going to keep this thing on going for very long today because I've got a lot of stuff going on today and I'm going to be busy, and I figure I'm just going to go ahead and knock this out and give us some information to you guys and do some stuff. I want to talk a few minutes about some of the comments about what people are doing with the promotions. I had a great conversation on the Finders Flippers Resell podcast this week with Wes, the Slim Flippers. We'll talk a little bit about that too, and where you can see that. We just had a great conversation about promotions and about business. It was just a lot of fun, guys. So I hope you get a chance to go check that out. But let's talk a little bit about that and what sold, and we'll see what else comes up. Let's get into it.
Find it, flip it, ship it, wear Breeze Flippers. Keep it moving. Find it, flip it, ship it, repeat. Breeze Flippers, we can't.
So like I said, guys, this is going to be a relatively short video. We've got a lot of stuff that's sold the past few days, and to be honest with you, I can't even remember completely what I have talked about or what I haven't talked about. So I'm probably going to pop some of these things up on the screen. We've had some good sales. I got 6 sales going out today, and I had quite a few sales going out yesterday, and then I think on Wednesday as well, the day I put out that video. So we'll talk real quick about what sold. I'll pop them up on the screen. I'm just going to go through them fast, guys. So everybody wants to see what sold, and I think this might help you find stuff too. I'm hoping it does. Maybe you get some ideas about what you can find to sell. We did sell a Sanrio Hello Kitty Kuromi silicone watch bumper for an Apple Watch, the 38 to 41 millimeter. Found this, I don't know where I picked this up at. I'll be totally honest with you. I think I got it from my daughter. She bought it and never used it, so I don't think it has any cost on it. $11.99 though, and $5.99 shipping. That went out. We've been selling the heck out of Department 56 stuff, which has been great. So we bought all those Department 56 Merrymakers, the little monks. We sold actually 1, 2, 3 to one person, and they bought 2 other things. So I'll run through those real quick, but they are the Department 56 Merrymakers, Chester, the Tester, and his kettle. The names are cute. These are all basically new in the box, but they are very old stock. So these, have been sitting around for a long time. We also sold a Merrymaker Sheridan Think Santa, set of 2, Department 56 again. And let's see, we also sold the Department 56 Merrymakers Halsey and the stocking hanger figurine. So this was, again, these are all vintage, guys. And then also a 2000 Hallmark Race Down Main Street with the Mitford Snowman ornament set. So that was kind of cool. And then that same lady also bought a tie Hocus Pocus Beanie Baby bellies, Halloween mummy, so a little 6-inch mummy. I think the total order for that was $117.95. I think the total order came to like $144.63, but I gave her $17 back off of shipping because it was way over. It did combine shipping, so this is the first time this has happened. It sent me an invoice and asked if I would combine shipping, and I said, or actually she'd paid for it, and it all combined, which is the weirdest thing because that doesn't happen very often, but it all combined. And then she sent me a note and said, would you please combine shipping? So the system actually combined the shipping by adding in the different amounts, but it was still way over. So I'll have to look at that someday to see how that did that. But anyway, so I ended up, probably about $130 something on that. So, which was great. Also sold, it says rare NASCAR, so I don't know if it's rare, but that's how the listing came up. But it was a rare NASCAR Mike Bliss 2005 Net Zero car. New old stock is on the card still. This is like a vintage collectible stock car. $15.29. I actually got one more of those left, and I did buy that at a garage sale. Ended up getting $5.99 shipping for it. Sold a video game, Tomb Raider: The Last Revelation. PlayStation video game, which was, I think it's just a regular PlayStation, so PlayStation 1. Sold it for $12.99, $5.99 shipping. Sold a camera. These still sell, guys. Nikon Coolpix 4800 ED digital camera with charger, battery case. It was tested, it works. I got lucky on this one. It had everything in it. Didn't have to buy any battery, didn't have to buy a charger. Worked perfectly, took great pictures. I think it even came with a SD card, so I got $54.99 for that and $6.99 shipping. Sold a comic book, Doctor Who #1. This was kind of cool. It was a good book. Actually, I like this one, but it was in good shape too. Doctor Who #1 from 1984 in October. It is a Marvel book, The Star Beast. I'd say it was VF plus. It was pretty good shape. Ended up getting $16 for that. It went out with free shipping, but it's a nice looking comic. Not to be outdone, but we have sold, and this is getting into what sold today. Department 56 Merrymakers Chester and his Chester the Tester. It sounds dirty. Chester the Tester and his Merrymaker. It was a Merrymaker and his kettle. Anyway, this is cute. It's kind of hard to see in there, but you see the little Chester, the guy, and he's got a little kettle, and he's sitting there licking on a spoon or something. I don't know. Anyway, it is cute, and that is going to go out for $21.99. And she also bought, again, these are selling in pairs, which this is great. She also bought Department 56 Halsey, the stocking hanger figurine, and he's got a little kettle, again, or a little fireplace, and you see right here he's got a little stockings that hang on there. So, and he's in perfect shape. So, again, I don't know if she ever took these out, if she ever used them, but they're all in great shape. So the boxes a little worse for wear, but hey, it's got a good deal. I ended up getting for the Chester, the Tester, yeah, $21.99, and that will have $5.99 or $6.99 shipping. I can't remember what I put on those. I hope I put $6.99 shipping. Yeah, I did. Thankfully. So I did $6.99 shipping, and then on the Merrymaker's Halsey and the stocking figure, I got $34.99 and $6.99 shipping with that. So very cool, very good sale. It was a lot of fun. Sold another comic. Yes, comic sale, guys. I sell a lot of these. I love selling comics. I love finding them. This one I picked up for 25 cents. It says 25 cents on there. I didn't pay it back then. I actually picked it up for 25 cents at a big antique store up in Tuscaloosa, Alabama. I was buying up a whole bunch of them and just bought them, so it ended up being about 25 cents a piece. This is an 80-page giant Jimmy Olsen number 13 from 1965 classic Superman Silver Age comic. So it's in fine shape. It needs a pressing, but it's a cool looking comic actually. This is back in the day when the artwork was all hand done, and it's really cool. So I mean, they still hand draw stuff now, but a lot of it's computerized. So. This one was a good buy, I think. I ended up, this was interesting. This one is, oh, I'm sorry, I got $15 for that comic. Did I say that? And free shipping. But this one is Phil Gordon Poker Strategy book. It's a lot of 3 books. You get the little black book, the little green book, and the Texas Hold'em book. So anyway, it was practically brand new. Picked it up at a garage sale for a couple bucks. I think $2. Yep, $2. And picked up some games and some other stuff. So it was a nice little bundle. I had a guy send me an offer for $13, and I didn't respond because I was like, $13, I didn't have time to respond. It was yesterday. I didn't have time. I was busy yesterday. We were trying to get our booth done last night. Just a busy day at work. I just didn't have time to respond. So I said, I'll just do it when I get home. Well, by the time I got home, somebody else bought it at full rate, $17.99, and it's going to get $6.99 shipping. Well, $6.99? Nope, $5.99 shipping. It's medium mail. So anyway, so that's going out. Sold probably the last of the, almost the last. This is going to be probably one of the last. There's one more I think after this, but this is Dragon Ball Z DVD. This is a lot of 2, the Tree of Might, World's Strongest Pioneer. These are been very popular. They've been selling really well. So this set sold for $20.89, and it's going to get $5.99 shipping. So last but not least, definitely not least, I picked this up for less than $1. I think I picked up 2 cups that were maybe less than $1. This, and I got it at Tuscaloosa, Alabama, so it was at a thrift store, I think, or something. I don't remember. It was really cheap. Maybe it wasn't a thrift store. I think it was just a garage sale. And they had a couple old McDonald's cups. And this is old, guys. This is definitely not a new one. It's a vintage teal, blue, and purple McDonald's plastic thermos with a handle and a lid. And it's sold for $11.39. And it's going to get $5.99 shipping. So, like I said, guys, it's kind of crazy stuff selling, and it's been a little mix of everything. So I think this week so far we're over $800, and we have 22 sales, and we're just going into the weekend. So might be a good week. I think it will be. I hope you guys are starting to see some of this too. If I was going to say what do I attribute to all this, honestly, it's just been getting up listings, and that's been the biggest thing, putting up new stuff. But I have listings going up every day, and I've been putting up a lot of new stuff. So all the Merrymakers and all that stuff, that kind of recently listed. Some of that stuff had just basically listed in just the end of October. So it really kind of went quick. So I think that's probably what's been part of it. But like I said, good stuff. I'm excited about it. Let's see what else is going on. So I was on the Finders Flippers Resell podcast. This was we videoed it Wednesday night. Wes normally is on there with Johnny from Frizzy Finds and Stuart from I just totally forgot the name of his business. I'll think of it in a minute. But anyway, he has a pretty good little group of podcasts. They do a nice weekly podcast, and both of those guys were out. So Wes asked me to come on. I do every once in a while hosting with them. So you'll get a chance to see that. We talk a lot about promotion. We talk a little bit about business. We talk a little bit about Dibbed It. Dibbed It. If you guys haven't been to Dibbed It yet, a lot of this stuff, there's some good stuff and good deals on Dibbed It. DIBDIT.com. Go to use Breeze Flips in the little wallet, and you can get $5 off your first $10 purchase. But we talked a lot about that. So if you get a chance, go check out the Finders Flippers Resell podcast. It's a good one, guys. And it's on my page, I think on my main YouTube page. So you'll be able to go out there and see it in the collaboration. So that's a new feature that YouTube has that I think is going to be really good. So go check it out, guys. They're fun. They're a fun group to watch anyway. I just enjoy. They're just down to earth. And they talk a lot about the different stuff that they do. And they all have such uniquely different businesses. It's kind of fun to watch. Big topic though, even in that, was the promoted listings. I've been really thinking about how I'm gonna do this, guys, and I'll be honest with you, I don't have a complete plan yet in my head, but I do have sort of a plan. I am going to stop, absolutely. I said I don't do this now, and I don't, but I'm not going to promote anything for the first 30 days on anything I put up. I'll give it 15 days, and if I don't see any kind of traffic or movement or nothing happens, I'm going to probably do some tweaking if that's the case. Maybe tweak it a little bit or try something. Make sure the price is right. If I see a lot of views and no watchers, that's something to look at. In 30 days, if nothing's happening, I'll probably throw a promotion on there of 2 to 3%. I'll let it run for the 90 days, and if nothing moves, then I will pull it down, do a sell similar, change it up, start the process over again. I don't think I'm going to put everything in there right away, at the promotion. I'm probably still going to promote some, but one of the things I was thinking about doing was towards the end of December or first part of January, I'm probably going to take down everything off of promotions that has watchers and views. I realize that it's going to still charge me if somebody clicks on that link within 30 days. I'm still going to get charged for that. But it might just kind of say, okay, this has enough traffic on it, enough people are looking and watching it. Potentially, somebody might come back and buy it. So, I don't know, just something I'm trying to think through, guys. I'd be curious to hear. Drop a comment. Tell me what you guys are going to do. Are you going to change anything up? You're just going to take everything down? I've said it before. I said it in the podcast this week. 50% of my sales, almost 50%, come from promoted listings. So, does that mean if I stop promoted listings, am I going to lose that 50%? I'm not sure I'm willing to find out. So I don't know. It's a tough one. So, I know that we could probably make a big difference by tweaking titles, getting better photos, tighter scripted, tighter photos, cropped in a little bit better, consistency in the activity, listing, revising, sending offers. I'd just be curious. And speaking of offers, do you guys send out everything in an offer when you get them in there? How often do you send out offers? I've been getting a whole bunch today, mainly because I started a new sale. So it seems like that just popped in a lot of stuff. So I typically will start a sale, but I always put everything, if I'm putting it on sale, I put it 5% lower on the sale than I expect to get, right? So if I know I really want to put something on for 20%, I put it on for 15%, because if somebody hits it and they buy it, then it's only 15%. But if they hit it and they say, they're looking for an offer, or they kind of put it in their cart, I'll send an extra 5%. Plus I use my text little thing, my Blaze text, and say, here's an additional 5% off. So that seems to work, and it spurs a lot of sales. Drop a comment. Tell me what strategies you guys use. Do you do the same thing? Do you have hundreds of offers sitting there to be sent out? Do you just wait and send them all out at one time? I typically send them out daily or whenever I have them. So as soon as they come in, I usually send them out. Now, that may not always be a good strategy. Maybe letting them wait a little bit might be a better strategy, kind of see what happens. I just started a sale today, so I didn't really send out any offers yet because those things just went on sale. So why don't I wait and let's see if I can keep that extra 5% in my pocket, and we'll see if they buy them. So a few actually have, so I think that was probably a good thing. So yeah, I'd be curious to hear what you guys do though. Drop a comment and tell me what your strategy is, or do you just have 1,000 of them sitting there and you've never done anything with them. So I don't know. It just feels weird to see them sitting there, just like, customer emails, or, some kind of a question or something. I hear so many people say they just ignore them, and I'm like, I just can't do that. My brain won't work. It just drives me crazy to have that sitting there. So I will always try to answer questions or do something to at least help that person. So, but I don't know. So I was trying to think of some like other things too that we're trying to work on. I have so many things actually going on right now, guys. It's just so many projects. I talked a little bit about this with Wes, but we have, the auctions going on. We still do that. I try to do a weekly auction. I have about 60 comics that I am working on right now to press, clean, and get ready to send off to CGC. So I won't get those back probably till the very first of the year, but that'll kind of start off next year with, I'm hoping about 50 graded comics that will sell for, a little bit of money. So I'll probably do that. I mean, I've got just like things to list still, but I'm not as many things to list. So sourcing has been a little slow for us. Between weather, travel, and different things, I haven't been able to source as much. So I'm going to try and get out there tomorrow and hit some big sales and see if we can find some stuff, because I kind of need some new stuff to kind of, just kind of fill out the Dibdit auctions and fill out some of the eBay stuff and kind of keep things moving. So, but yeah, so it's just like, there's a lot of stuff going on. Plus, I'm trying to look at it and keep the store moving. And that's one of the things that I think is really important. Especially now we're moving into this new promotion issue and all that stuff that we're doing. So I think pricing is going to be a key factor. And maybe, I don't want to do a race to the bottom and, try to beating everybody else on price. But I also think, that I'm going to have to go back and look at some of the things that just aren't moving, that have been sitting there a while, because we got to stop. We got to get out of the habit of babysitting inventory, because it just isn't working. We have a lot of stuff. I do turn over a lot of stuff. So, we have 1,100 items in the store and we sell 1,100 items a year, but we also keep replenishing and putting more items in there. So, I feel like we're turning over some of the stuff, but there's some things that have been in there for a while. I look at, for instance, the cup that I put in there, that's been in there and it's been listed since July. So was it a good idea to buy it? I don't know. I paid $1 for it and made $11.39 plus shipping. Maybe it's a good thing, maybe not. But for some people, some business models, it wouldn't be. There's some business models out there that if it doesn't sell in 30 days, they're running a big sale and they're getting rid of it. So that's an option as well, guys. So I don't know, something kind of think about. What's going to work for your business? What is working for your business? Drop a comment. Like I said, let me know. I'd love to hear some conversation about what's going on. But, and I know that a lot of people, they look at other people's businesses and they try to compare, how am I doing compared to them? It's your business, right? You shouldn't really ever compare your business to anybody else. I would like to say and think that there's no business that's like your business. It's just your business, right? So, if we've had several good weeks of sales, and I'm not comparing myself to, to any of the big YouTubers out there that are doing, different kind of business. It's just, there's no comparison. I'm happy with what I have, and I'm happy if we get $1,000 in sales this week, which that's probably a pretty good chance that we will, over $1,000. That's a super week. And, so maybe compared to somebody that's doing that in a day, it's not that great. So I think the biggest advice I say to anybody, I would always say, run your own race. It is your race. It doesn't matter if you come in first. You just need to win for what you want, right? And that's why I say to, put up a goal, set the goal, put it out in front of you so that you know what to do. If you only want to make $100 a week, then put a goal out there to make $100 a week. What do you have to do to get that $100 a week? If you want to make $500 a week, put that goal out there. We like it when we make about $2,000 a month. And, some of that, at least 1,500 of that probably, or maybe 1,000 of that is money that we can use for other stuff. And the rest of it goes back into the business. So we kind of put some of that, the profit back towards the business, of course, but some of it's some of ours. So that's kind of nice to have that extra income. So you got to figure out what works for you. But, like I said, it's I don't know, solid week, guys, and I hope your week's the same. Let us know if there's anybody's having a great week out there, or if you're seeing it, or if you're seeing a slow week. I don't know. Tell me what do you think's going on? What do you think's happening? If you're not getting as many sales as you're expecting, what would be the reason? What do you think might be the reason? So I can't tell you why the sales are popping here. I just think that it's the right items, especially like these merrymakers. I honestly didn't know if these would sell. I was a little nervous about buying those. The Hallmark ornaments, I felt confident. I knew I could move those. But the merrymakers, that was a challenge. So I don't know. Tell me what you guys think. So if you get a chance, like and subscribe. We are working our way to that 1,000, guys. And as soon as we get to 1,000, I've got some books to give away. We're going to do some fun stuff. And I'm just, it isn't that I'm trying to get to 1,000 because I'm going to make money off of YouTube. I don't expect that. I just wanted to say as a goal, and that's where we're at. I feel blessed to be able to talk to people. Some of the comments that I've gotten, I feel honored and grateful that I've gotten great comments from a lot of these guys, and that people appreciate some of the stuff. And I've got some other ones that don't appreciate it, and that's fine. Everybody has their opinion, and it's not. This isn't what it's about. For me, this is an opportunity to talk a little bit about my business, a little bit about what I do. And if it helps somebody, that's all the better. So, and it gets things off my chest, because we all know reselling can be a lonely business, especially if you were the only one in your family doing it. It is a lonely business. Sometimes you do want people to talk to, and it's kind of fun. It's not bragging, it's talking about the sales that we have, because I've also had some weeks where there was no bragging. It was bad, right? So, and I've talked about those as well. So, but I think it's just an opportunity to kind of connect with the community out there. And that's what I have the most fun with. So that's why I love being on the podcast that I'm on. Hey, if you got a podcast you want me to be on, let me know. I'd love to do it. Or if you want to just collab on something, let me know. That's something that's great now that's on YouTube. You can get a couple people together to do a collab. You can build your channel with their channel, and it's kind of a cool thing to do. So let me know if you're ever interested in that. I'd be happy to do that. I hope your weekend is great. I hope you stay safe. I hope sourcing's great for you tomorrow. I hope there's some garage sales. It's supposed to rain. So if it does, that's going to suck. But we may find some other things to do, or we may just start listing a bunch. I have about 500 comics I need to list. It's just going to take a while to do it, but I can do it and get it done. I can get a lot of them done. I'll probably list 100, in a day, and get that out of the way, or at least the photographs and stuff, because you just batch all the photos and you do the listings later. So, but I hope your weekend is great. I hope you stay safe. I hope you get some sourcing, enjoy yourself and relax. And, like I said, guys, run your own race, have fun with this business, because it is fun. It can be trying and it can drive you nuts sometimes, but it is fun and I enjoy it. So I'm David, Breeze Flippers. We'll see ya.
Find it, flip it, ship it, wear Breeze Flippers. Keep it moving. Find it, flip it, ship it, repeat.